Hello, my name's Terry Ingram. I'm a Vietnam veteran and a former police detective from South Florida. As a police officer, I was involved in routine patrol, traffic, and vice intelligence and narcotics as a detective, and robbery homicide. This video that I'm about to show you is regarding how to handle police encounters should they approach you in your home at your front door. What you should do, what your rights are, and what their limitations are. I'm going to show you a video, and I'm going to pause it in certain key areas and tell you what this woman should have done when she was encountered by these police officers. Just a short background. The woman in the video herself has armed herself with one of the most important tools that the citizenry can have is a video recorder. If you don't have a video recorder, at least obtain a tape recorder. Most of you have cell phones that can be used as both. So these are very, very important, and you'll see that the police didn't overreact more than they actually did because they were being taped. And I have to give high marks to this woman for standing her ground, but she just didn't quite understand how to handle the situation. She was confused by a number of issues that the police brought up, and I'll tell you how, if this happens to you, how you should handle this incident. So we're going to go ahead and go to the first part of this video where the police are actually banging, beating on her door, demanding to gain entry because they have a warrant for a person they believe that this woman is harboring as a federal fugitive, and this person has evidently jumped bail. And along with the sheriff's department, they have a bondsman who has come there to get his property, which is this person they call Allen, or Mr. Atkins, I think his name is. You'll see it on the video. Anyway, you'll see how they obtain access to her house without a warrant, how they come into her house without a warrant, how they search her house without a warrant, and how all this could have been avoided if she just followed her first instinct, which was the correct instinct, and not open the door. Because they had a warrant for somebody's arrest, they did not have a search warrant to search her house. The only reason they could gain access excuse me, to her home was by consent. Even though it was a bullying consent, you'll see it with consent. So let's go ahead and start with the video, and we'll start with the first part where the police are pounding on her door.
Why are
Go
you...
to the door, front door.
Okay, we want to break right here. This is what she did correct. She spoke with the police through her window. That did not grant them access to her house. If this entire incident had been accomplished through her window, the following that you're going to see would have never happened. So her biggest mistake was going to open the door because the police pounded on your door. Pounding on your door does not give the police right or access to your home. They must have a Fourth Amendment search warrant, and that search warrant must have a break order on it if they're going to break in. As a former police officer, we conducted many searches. Some searches we were permitted to break in where there was drugs and guns involved so that nobody would be harmed. So we would not announce. It's a non-announcing search warrant. Other search warrants, we would announce we had a search warrant, ask permission to come in without breaking in, and then the person would see the search warrant and would follow its precepts. In this particular case, they have a warrant for somebody's arrest. I want you to understand the difference. They don't have a search warrant for the house. So this woman here is not explaining the difference between the two. The police are talking about a warrant for somebody's arrest, and the woman is talking about a search warrant. So now we'll go back to the video and show you how the police gain access and her big mistake of opening the front door. This opens the entire can of worms. So back to the video.
Why are you banging on my door? Why are you banging on my door? Why are you banging on my door?
There's the big mistake. She just opened the door for the police. She should have continued the conversation at the window. Never open your door to the police. If they have the right to come into your house, they're going to come into your house without your permission. Now watch what happens from here.
Where's Mr. Baker?
Why are you
I have a
banging on my
warrant
door?
for Mr. Baker's arrest.
You see the deputy sheriff saying he has a warrant for Mr. Baker's arrest. I think the gentleman's name is Alan Baker. Now this is not a search warrant. This is a warrant for somebody's arrest. That's why they're banging on the door. They believe that person is there. Now the woman is doing her best to demand a warrant from them, but she's not making it clear that they need a Fourth Amendment search warrant. They say, we have a warrant. We have a warrant for this person's arrest, intimating they have a right to come in. They have no right to come in. If she hadn't opened the door in the beginning, the following would not have happened. Now back to the video.
What does that have to do with me?
Is Mr. Baker in your house?
No, he is not. What does that have to do with me? What are you doing in my house? You are trespassing.
Where's Mr. Baker?
Where's Alan?
Excuse me, but...
There you go. You see how the police move in and she retreats. Now all of the policemen and this bondsman are in her home. Why? Because she opened the door and let them in. I understand she's making her objections, but when you have an open door, the police start walking toward you and you start retreating, then they feel they have the right to come in your home.
I am the only one here.
Where's Alan?
And what authority do you have to come to my house
Where is
and
Alan?
bust on my door?
Man, bust you open the door, man.
There you go. You heard it for yourself. The officer says, you open the door, man. You let us in. Right there, they're telling you that they didn't need a search warrant if you let them in your house. And toward the end of this video, you're going to hear them say the same exact thing. She's going to complain you didn't have a search warrant, and the deputy's going to turn around and say, well, you opened the door and let us in, ma'am. That should be sufficient for you to understand that they intimidated her, yes, wrongly, yes. It borders on being an unlawful search, and in my opinion it is an unlawful search, but it would have been much more powerful if this woman had never opened the door. If you got a search warrant, execute it. Break the door in and come in and search. Then you're going to have to handle the consequences. In this particular case, they just beat on the door, made intimidating, screaming remarks about police, we have a warrant, open the door. She made a mistake of coming to the door and letting them in, and here they are in her house, and now they're searching her entire house. And she's making some vague objections to not having a warrant, and they're saying, well, I have a warrant. But the warrant they're talking about is a arrest warrant. The warrant she is talking about is a search warrant. You need to articulate that you don't have a Fourth Amendment search warrant, get off my property, call the police, have the police come, and have them escorted off the property.